My fiance wants me to pay rent. Hi, my name is Karina, and today I'm going to be reacting to Stephan reacting to my video that I filmed reacting to his video of him reacting to another video. Let's get into it.
And this is going to be a really interesting episode today because we have this one. It's titled Reaction to Stephan asterisk men should pay asterisk making 180K in Manhattan spends her money. That is a sentence that I had to read this multiple times to make sure it even makes grammatical sense.
Maybe not grammatical sense, but you know, for the YouTube search, it made sense.
I am going to be reacting to a reaction video by Stephan. His videos are hilarious. Basically, he's reacting to a video about how people spend their money. This one is titled How a 31-Year-Old Blogger Making $180,000 in Manhattan Spends Her Money.
See, I love these videos because it's me reacting to somebody else, reacting to me, reacting to an episode of Glamour. And there's nothing better than that.
The problem with this video isn't necessarily her money spending habits, but it is the type of relationship she is in.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. We encompass money, wealth, index funds, passive income, and judging other people's relationships on the internet. That's what we're doing today. So already I could tell this is going to be, as she says, and as I say, a gem.
This is not a relationship that a female should want to be in. And you're going to see this looks like it's great. It looks like she's getting all these gifts and she has a $50,000 engagement ring and everything looks fine and dandy. But honestly, the relationship she is in is an actual prison.
I feel like I look so different in that video than I do now, even though it wasn't that long ago. Wow. So I made this video actually for my women followers. You'll see it's basically two people living in a household where one is clearly more wealthy, but he is kind of expecting her to also take on the financial of that same lifestyle, which she clearly cannot afford. And that's not really a fair way to live your life. And I wanted to spread that to my women audience.
Ooh, I'm curious about this because I gotta say, it seemed like she was living the dream. It's like she's got a great career. She's getting all these free gifts. She's got a $50,000 engagement. How could you look at this and say it's a prison?
Because the prison looks a certain way. It looks like it's, like he said, gifts and all these nice things, but they're given to her for the wrong reason. If we were to take somebody who is in debt, as she is, struggling to make ends meet, and because she's in debt, and the thing she is getting in return is random gifts that don't benefit her but benefit the male, her fiance, and the house, then are they really gifts for her or are they gifts for him? The best way to live in paradise is for him to help her out in the things that actually matter and will make a difference in her life, since he's spending that money anyways. Why not make it so it benefits the woman that he loves and wants to spend the rest of his life with?
You know, we're gonna find out because I bet she has a good reason.
Instead of just playing the normal video, I thought I'd add his reaction video because that's how I initially found it, and it's actually much more entertaining.
Thank you. Oh, that means a lot. I thought this was gonna be a dig at me, but you know what? Let's dig the relationship.
I definitely agree with all of his points about the finances.
Yes. Yes. All right.
I love finance on my channel a lot because I think women should invest, women should be smart with their money and not spend it on things that don't appreciate in value unless they already have a savings and an investment account and hopefully some type of side income that helps them grow. Then they can be a little bit more reckless with their money, but not too much.
I am a CEO and founder of an influencer on multiple e-commerce businesses.
Okay, so she has an online business. Great.
My apartment's about 1,500 square feet. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath located
nice.
in a financial district in Manhattan.
Yeah, I remember looking at this place and being like, the design is phenomenal. Like everything about this place was so nice, except we all wanted to know what her fiance did. He was the only one not discussed really at all. And it seemed like he was the one kind of funding a lot of this.
He actually wasn't necessarily funding it because from the situation, he has this place, but he makes her split the rent. And he makes way more. So for him, it's easier to pay that and it's a substantially smaller percentage of his income, while for her, it really is a struggle. If she was single, then she would probably downsize and pay less, and then she can use the rest of that money to fund more of her businesses or in her investment portfolio versus spending it in a situation just to live with somebody she loves.
So that's what we wanted to know.
Okay, so it looks like her total is $9,400 to spend a month.
That's a lot. I forgot how expensive rent is in New York, especially. It's probably more now too. It's only 2 bedrooms.
But this is not where the problem is. You're gonna see where the real problem is.
Payment is for
Do you know utilities for $100 a month? Some places in Europe, you can literally get a full-on house for $400 a month. Okay, yeah, so see, her total is $4,400. So does she pay the full utilities? Oh my gosh.
$1,000.
Oh no, that's the rent.
My
Okay.
fiance pays the other half.
You saw this coming. Did you see this coming? Her fiance pays one half and she pays another half.
Again, you know what? I'm speaking too soon. Let's see what she has to say about this.
Ooh, it's gonna be a tough future if you're splitting bills and you're not married yet. But I understand people come from different backgrounds. Some people are rising from the bottom together. They need to support each other to split the bill and whatever. That's another side of the story.
It's not necessarily about splitting bills and working together as a couple to build a future, to build a base, to share all intimate parts of your life, including finances. The problem I have with this story is that he makes a significant higher amount than her, and well, her income doesn't even compare, but he expects her to contribute the same percentage as if that were equality.
I don't think that's worse. Is that worse? Is this the end of the world that she's making $180,000 a year? They moved into this place. I think as far as splitting bills, it's whatever works for them. I don't think it's a red flag by any means.
But see, this works for him, but it doesn't necessarily work for her, because what's the other option? He's obviously not going to downgrade and live somewhere way cheaper because he is used to this more luxurious high-end lifestyle because that's what his money allows. But her other option is to not live together and to pay something she can afford and not financially straining herself. But that would mean not living with her fiance. Does that also mean not living with your husband if you're still adhering to this policy of we must split everything evenly? It's not that we now share this life together and we succeed together and we want to be together and build together. It's my finances are mine, yours are yours, 50-50, even though you make 10 times less than me. That doesn't really make sense to me, nor does it send a signal of your man truly cares about you and wants you to be in a less stressful environment. And that's even before kids or any other serious problems start to get tangled up into this.
I mean, listen, if she were marrying a guy who wasn't rich, they would probably be splitting the bills anyway.
True, that is a potential. However, they would be both within their means. They would be living in a place where it doesn't strain both of them. But just knowing that your partner has the ability to help you out and he doesn't, to me, is a red flag.
Fiancé is very successful.
Fiancé is so successful and it seems to look like this, and we'll get into it later. Then why in the world is she having to split the rent?
Because maybe she wants to. What if she's the one going and spending all the money? Let that sink in for a second. He's worth all this money, but he's like, you know what, honey? We don't need such a nice apartment in Manhattan. I'd much rather live over there. We could save a little bit of money. And she's like, no, I want this. He's like, okay, fine.
I don't think that's how it is. I think it's actually him wanting to carry on his luxurious lifestyle and her just kind of pulling teeth and trying to pull her weight just to stay with him.
To make our relationship work throughout the years is by remaining very financially independent from each other. We
Okay.
own completely separate businesses in different industries.
I understand that. The business side, she owns one business, he owns another business. They don't want to intermingle it because that doesn't make sense for the finances. But why are you making your relationship work by being financially independent from one another?
Why is independence a bad thing? That's what I don't fully understand is like, why is that a negative thing that she's able to bring something to the table. She's able to provide. She's able to take care of herself. She's able to get her own things.
Because what's the point then? If she can provide for herself and take care of herself, she was doing that just fine before she met him. But now that she met him, she is having to change her financial structure and pay more for something she clearly cannot afford. So yeah, she can take care of herself, but then at that point might as well be alone. If you're getting into a relationship where you're still holding these barriers, especially for something so materialistic that you don't even get to keep when you die, money, what's the point? And to me, it's you're a fiance. You have a future of, I'm going to marry this person. I'm going to have kids with this person. And of course, everybody wants the best for the kids. So the kids will always be taken care of. But if we take this few steps further, if the kids are being taken care of, and that's great, as they should be, but the wife is still kind of scavenging for her own. She's in debt. She can't afford these things, but the man can keep up this lifestyle, and she's just in the shadows. And the only way she could get to his level if she spends beyond her means. How is that respectful of your spouse? What message is that painting for your kids? If he is a man in this situation and he has a daughter, would he want her future husband to treat her in this way, where she is stressed in financial debt, while he can clearly pay off the debt and have them focus on other things, such as growing a happy family and just doing fulfilling things, maybe charity work or traveling the world, or even expanding yourself, or having more kids, or raising them, spending more time with them? Those are all opportunities that are taken away just because of this mental taboo that some men have around money. Like, this is all mine, I don't want to share it.
We have separate checking accounts, even though I do really depend on him financially to be able to live in such a nice apartment.
See, that's weird. Okay, so she is dependent on him, but she's independent as well.
She was independent before she met him. So if she was on her own, she can take herself out on dates, she can take herself out shopping, she can do nice things for herself within her means. But now it's this uneven financial teeter-totter where he is all the way up here and she cannot physically go up here unless she overspends.
It's very personal because I spend a lot of time here. I work here, I sleep here.
What is she doing to get a $30,000 gift?
It's a gift. Who do you think the gift is from? If I were to take a wild guess, I'd probably say it's from her fiance, who feels generous to give her give her a $30,000 gift for his house, so she can decorate it, so she can spend her precious time, her precious energy, giving love, giving comfort to him in his place.
What? You could just hire a designer. If that's really what you need, just hire a designer. To me, that just seems like a nice gesture.
No, it's basically killing two birds with one stone. It's like, I want this painting for my house because it will look nice, but I'm going to give it to her so she can decorate it and feel useful, like she's decorating our place. But in reality, I'm getting it for my property, for my apartment that I would have had with or without her. I will poll and ask every woman on here, would you want that type of gift if you are already stressed financially paying for this apartment, knowing that your fiance can afford something nominal? Like, it's just, in the grand scheme of things, it's like priorities. Rent, food, water, education, debt, all of this. He can easily afford something just decorated for $30,000, but he's still making you stress and pay the bills. To me, that's a slap in the face. It's, I don't care about you. This is just a manipulative gesture to make it look like I care.
So it never really feels like my work is done, and decorating is definitely my number one hobby.
Do you notice how kind of expensive and luxurious these decorations are? And do you notice the price points? They're quite high, and somebody on a $180,000 salary cannot afford those types of goods. It doesn't even make sense. So she's saying that she's spending a lot of money decorating this, which looks like it's coming out of her pockets, besides the gifts that are tagged, which was that skull and that poster board. But everything else is out of her own pocket to contribute to the man's comfort.
To the man's comfort? No, they're both getting to enjoy it. That's what I don't understand. It's like she gets to live in this place too. She gets to enjoy all the artwork. I gotta say,
if she were given the choice of, I will put $30,000 towards your business, towards your investment portfolio, towards your debt, towards real estate, or so you don't have to pay whatever, a mortgage or rent, versus here, put this up on the wall for $30,000 and all of those, which one do you think she would choose? The first one she would enjoy much more. It will completely alleviate her stress levels.
Whatever the style is,
$8,000 gift,
I like it.
$30,000 gift. That's at least $38,000 in just gifts, which isn't really a gift to her. Again, it's a gift for the house.
No, I disagree. I mean, listen, if you give a gift like that and something happens between them, it's not like he's gonna be like, no, it's on the wall now. Now it's affixed to the property and that stays. No, those are gifts to her.
Hey, you don't know that. He might say that. And at the end of the day, how liquid are those gifts anyways? Could she just turn around and sell them? Probably not. Who is just gonna buy random artwork? I don't even know what artist or whatever that is, and just overnight turn that into cash that she can actually use. It's not really beneficial. If we really get into it, maybe he has control issues, that he doesn't want her to be financially successful. Because if you are committing your life and you say you want to marry this person, wouldn't you want to set her up for success so you can work together? To me, I just don't understand that. I could, even with family and friends, I want everyone in my life that I truly deeply care about to succeed. And if I know that even for like Christmas, if I can go and buy like a random designer purse for somebody versus getting them an investment or money, like that's actually what happened last Christmas, is got Ethereum from my cousin-in-law and then money towards my aunt's construction. And I knew that that would save so much stress for them versus just getting random things or even something luxury and designer, because I genuinely want the people in my life to be successful, whether they're romantic or not. And if somebody doesn't see that for me or doesn't naturally want that for me as well, that's a huge red flag. Either they don't care about me or they have control issues because they want to stay on top and be more financially successful and powerful. And both of those are deal breakers in my opinion, and I should be for you ladies who are watching as well.
I run 3 e-commerce sites. I manage them with a small team.
Love this. Okay, here's another gift we see here. A $49,000 ring.
That's just so uncomfortable to just be in a position where you're getting all of these things and your life seems on the surface level so nice. Like, wow, I have a beautiful ring. I have a beautiful painting hanging over the wall. I live in this apartment. But you know that deep down behind all of these materialistic items, you're stressed because you're in debt and you have to pay for things that you cannot afford just to be with the person that you love.
Wedding ring.
Yep.
Her husband has got to be wildly successful. I want to know more. I want to see what his schedule is like.
I do too.
No offense to her. What if all the gifts though are from really him to her? Like he's
They
the one that's like,
are. That's
here's
exactly
your
what they
wedding
are.
ring. That's a gift. Here's a piece of art I got for you. That's a gift.
$30,000, $8,000.
That's almost like coming to $100,000, 6 figures of money. He can clearly just like, it's FU money at that point, right? Like, do whatever. If you can buy a $30,000 painting, you have FU money, which means you're probably pretty good at your business. You probably got a solid stock portfolio, good investments. Then this has to be a power dynamic control situation where he doesn't want her to persevere, or he's treating her like a kid, like, I'm going to teach you a lesson, you have to do this on your own. And again, if you're entering a marriage, that's not a great mentality to enter a marriage with, that he's going to treat you like you're inferior and make you struggle, while he can easily take your problems away and then you guys can thrive together.
Also starting another business.
Okay.
Within 6 months, I accumulated a large amount of debt. I have $30,000 in debt. I pay about $500 a month to pay down my debt.
$30,000 of that is not that bad, considering the fact that she has a $30,000 painting hanging on her wall. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Again, he's gonna give you a $30,000 painting. Come on, it's a painting. Come on. But you don't want to pay off her debt. This is your future wife. This is potentially the mother of your children. Like, do you even love this woman? That's what I would be asking.
Before I even comment on this, and you already know what I'm gonna comment if you watch any of my videos.
Yeah, she's gonna tell him to pay down the debt. Now,
Yeah.
it is kind of silly. Now, objectively, okay, let's look at this objectively. If he's buying her a $38,000 painting and she has $30,000 of debt, It's a little unbalanced. It just makes it question the value of the art versus paying down her loan. But then again, she did take out the loan, and this could be her responsibility to pay that down with the money that she makes. I don't know.
What I don't understand also is like struggling to prove a point. Like, don't we have enough stuff going on in the world where if we can take away struggles, we should probably do that? We can easily get rid of this debt and move on to bigger thinking. But instead, I'm going to make you suffer and accumulate interest. Like when you're married, you're supposed to do things together. And now this is just anchoring the whole relationship down. There's more stress. It's not just financial stress. That turns into emotional and mental stress that affects relationships. So why suffer when you don't have to?
Oh, at least for me, it kind of takes the challenge away. When you really do something for yourself.
But you can have challenges in other areas, like a challenge of making this business successful and thriving, right? Like people who are multi-millionaires and billionaires, they have these challenges. And if something fails, they just move on. They move on to bigger things. They're not going to be out there stressing, or they're not there doing like kitchen work or cooking for themselves every single second because that's like the noble thing to do. They can just hire somebody for that.
You kind of respect that hustle and that hunger to really go out and do it for yourself.
The problem here is that she has a $30,000 gift as her lovely fiance, we'll call it, hanging above her bedstand. She has a $50,000 engagement ring. She has an $8,000 skull. She has other miscellaneous...
Yeah, but you know what? This could be strategic business leverage. Think of it this way. If she took out a personal loan to fund this stuff, that's all a tax write-off. Like in certain situations, it could be better for her to take that loan out at a really low interest rate and just wait to pay it off. It's essentially...
I mean, that is true if that's the case. If it's a really, really low interest rate and she uses that $30,000 to actually make more money, then there's nothing wrong with that. But clearly she's financially struggling because she can't barely afford the rent. So I don't think that's the situation here.
I think I did the math before. If she's making $180 a year, she'll be left with about $120 after taxes. That works out to be $10,000 a month. She's spending $5,000 on rent. That's
a half her income. Like if she could get a 1-bedroom or even a studio in New York for way less than that, and then invest all of that other things into stocks.
A lot of money in rent. She's got other business expenses. We'll call it probably $3,000 a month.
Okay, let's just take the 5,000, and instead of 5, let's say she finds a place for $2,000 a month, okay, or even $2,500. Let's say her initial investment is $2,500, but let's say that every month, instead of even paying that rent price that she's paying for him, she monthly contributes it towards her stock portfolio. And let's say she buys ETFs, which is what I recommend. I actually have a program down below about investing. And let's say in 10 years, what would that be in 10 years at a 10% interest rate, which is around how much SPY grows? Let's calculate that. Oh my God. So literally that's already $500,000 in 10 years. Now let's compound that in 20 years. That's almost $2 million. So I think she is better off spending that money living in her studio, if we're really gonna look at it like that. By the way, do you see the power of investing and compounding interest? It's amazing. Invest, ladies, invest.
That's leaving her with about $2,000 a month profit after everything is said and done. It's certainly not a lot. And I think if I were her, I'd be hesitant to agreeing to spend $5,000 a month on rent. Now, here's the thing. I am not against splitting things, but I think if she's splitting that, she's got to factor that into what she can afford. And I would just say to her fiance, like, hey, listen, I know you want to live in this place, but like, at the money I'm making right now, I could really only afford to spend like $2,500 a month if I'm expected to save and do all these other things. So I'm happy to split a place $2,500 a month each. But now I remember the issue that I didn't like with this is that she was basically just like a break even every single month. I didn't like that. And not because of their relationship, but just because I don't think that was the financially smart thing to do.
Exactly. Like, I wonder if she brought up this question to him saying, hey, I can't afford this lifestyle. Let's move into a studio for $2,500 a month. Would he be okay with that? Or would he say, honey, I have an image to uphold. That is why I got you this $50,000 ring, because you are my wife and I am a man of prestige and money. And I have to hold my weight when it comes to having a nice apartment, having nice things, having my wife look nice, all of these things. But actually, you still have to pay half. So that's pretty much, I think, the most important things from this video and from the reaction to Graham's reaction. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And again, my name is Karina. If you're interested in investing, check out my really inexpensive program down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.